Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, Chaos Wolf here, and welcome back to the Elite Dangerous 1.4 test server. Now, that's right, the beta server has now gone live, and we are starting again with ship reviews. And this time, we are actually having a look at this. This is the Federal Assault Ship. One of the two new Federal ships that are actually being implemented in 1.4. Now, let's just have a look around and just have a look at the absolute amazing design that this ship actually has. I really do like the engines back there. They are absolutely huge. And in comparison to the Federal dropship, this thing is actually a lot sleeker. You can see that it's got a lot more fins on it and larger fins, but they are in a much sleeker design and much sleeker placements. It almost makes me think that this ship might actually work underwater. It does kind of remind me of some kind of submersible design, but whether or not that's the case is another issue. But anyway, that's a quick look at the outside of the ship. Let's actually go and have a look in the cockpit. So here we are in the cockpit. Let's actually have a look around. As you can see, we do have our coffee machine still, so that is awesome. And yep, you can see just back there is the second chair. We've got some straps holding in some molded casing there. And as you can see, there's actually quite a bit of red detailing in here. So that's actually kind of cool. But it's kind of similar, a kind of cockpit to the Federal dropship. But considering these are all Federal ships and they're all made by the same company, that doesn't really surprise me. So there is some individuality, so you can tell which ones are which, but they're all pretty much going to be the same. But now, let's go and have a look at the... Where are we? Let's go and have a look in the shipyard. And let's actually go and have a look at the stats of this ship. Here we go, Federal Assault Ship. What we actually have is a top speed, as stock, of 216 meters per second. So this is really not the fastest of ships. But that's not really surprising. These Federal ships are generally designed as tanks. Its boost speed is 360, so that's really nothing to sniff at. Maneuverability, that is really a big upgrade over the Federal dropship, at least. The Federal dropship being 2 out of 10, the Federal Assault Ship actually being 6 out of 10. So that is a massive increase in manoeuvrability for this ship. Now, extended jump range is 8.33 and 7.96 laden. We don't really pay attention to that too much because that does change with different modules and so on. But it's, again, it's a little bit better than the Federal dropship. Let's just go and check that out. Here we go, 6.77 and 8.25. So it is much better. The shields are 133 against the armour of 540. Hull mass 480. Let's go and have a look at that in comparison to the actual dropship. So 580, so it's 100 less tons. 100 fewer tons than the actual Federal dropship. The armour seems to be pretty much the same, but the shields are actually better than the Federal dropship. So yeah, 540 on the armour. So it's got the same armour, it's got better shields, and it's actually got a lower hull mass. So that's kind of interesting. So that's kind of will be why this thing actually has a better manoeuvrability. Now, as we can see, we do actually have 4 utility mounts, which is nice, which is I think is the same as the Federal dropship. Let me just double check that. Yep, 4 utility mounts. But whereas the Federal dropship has 4 medium and 1 large, this actually has 2 medium and 2 large hardpoints. So this is going to be a very interesting ship to fly. especially when it comes to its hard points. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and have a look at the outfitting department of this ship. And as you can see, we actually have one of the large hard points on the underside of the ship. So that's pretty much the same place as the large hard point on the Federal dropship. Now the second large hard point, you can't really see it, but it's actually up here on top of the ship. So that's very interesting. We're going to have one large hard point underneath and one large on top. So ships are not going to be able to get away from you if they fly over you. You could even put a turreted weapon here and pretty much be able to fire at everything around on top. Now, internally, actually, not internally yet, let's have a look at the mediums. The two medium hardpoints are actually on the bottom of the ship as well. So, let's then go and have a look at the internals. We've got the standard lightweight alloys, well, the standard bulkheads. These are class 8. A class 6 power reactor, class 6 thrusters. So again, that's why this is going to be so maneuverable. Its thrusters are very large. It's got a rating 5, well, a class 5 frameshift drive, so that's going to help this ship go quite a ways actually. Class 5 on life support, class 6 on the distributor, and class 4 on the sensors. Now, internally, we actually have got 2 class 5 slots, 1 class 4, 1 class 3, and 2 class 2 slots. But this is actually kind of interesting, because we do have 2 class 5 slots. We can actually have a class 5 shield generator and a class 5 shield cell bank, which is going to mean that we're going to get a lot of mileage out of our shields. Now, I am going to keep this as pretty much stock, so what we're actually going to go and do is go into the hard points and actually set up some standard weapons here. So we'll go into class descending, and I'm going to go and put some weapons on, so I will see you guys in a moment. Okay, so here we are again, and I have actually just fitted some standard weapons here. We've got 2 large pulse lasers and 2 medium multi-cannons. Now, as you can see, the large pulse laser is actually poking out of the top of the ship here. So, like I said, we're going to have 1 laser above and 1 laser below. Now, the 2 multi-cannons that I chose are actually down in the bottom. And we're going to go and have a look at how these actually go and perform in a fight. Right, now the first thing we want to go and do before we go and have a look at some combat is the acceleration, the deceleration, and the maneuverability of this ship, pretty much. So what we're going to do is we've got all pips into engines, and we're going to go from stop to start. So let's do that. Now just listen to those engines. Now currently we are cruising along at 205 kilometers per second. So let's hit that with a boost. And that quite easily takes us up to 353 kilometers per second. Now, slowing down, we can actually see that this ship does actually slow down fairly quickly. A lot faster than the Federal dropship. And now let's go from 0 to boost fast as we can. So that took us to about 346. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go and see how well this thing turns, and this is without using any lateral thrusters. You can see that it pitches really quickly, and it kind of yaws fairly well as well. Let's try for a boost turn now. And we can pretty much almost do a 360 before the boost actually cuts out. But we can't actually flip this ship. But anyway, what we're going to go do now is we are going to go and have a look for some combat. Well, looks like we've got something to shoot at least, so let's get out our weapons. All pips to weapons, and let's see how long this guy lasts.
Target shields.
Not very long at all. Now, the main problem I'm having is trying to keep all the guns trained on him at the same time. I have to pitch up a little bit in order to actually have my multi-cans firing on him at all time. But that was kind of very quick. Now, I do believe this guy here is clean, so I'm not going to bother actually attacking him. But we've already seen how easily it is to actually take out a novice Cobra. So let's go and see if we can actually find anything else to blow up. Alright, so this guy is mostly wanted. So again, let's get our weapons out. And keeping this guy in view is really not that hard. Naturally, his shields go down like this, as if they were made out of paper. So there we go, that's him gone, and we have an eagle as well. Let's actually go and see if this guy's wanted as well. I hope so. No, he isn't. Well, looks like we've gone 3 for 3 on Cobras right now. Ooh, but this one wants to fight. Not a clever idea, buddy boy. We have another ship over here. What is it? Whatever it is, it's burning hell for leather. Oh, you're a sidewinder. Right, he's clean at least. Now, what we got over here? Now, as you can see, this ship is really not sluggish at all, really. It's a massive, massive improvement on the manoeuvrability on the Federal dropship. Let's see if this guy's clean. Yes, he is. So we don't get to kill any sidewinders now. Alrighty, well, I think it's about time to get back. Oh yeah, that would help if I actually put my weapons away. So let's get back and see how this thing docks.
4, 3.
Right, so we are coming in from the rear end of the station. So let's actually flip this thing around and see how well it does doing that. And let's actually get ourselves through the letterbox. Now this does drift a little bit when using its lateral thrusters. And down here, I believe, is our landing pad. So we've got our landing gear out, and we're slowing down. There we go. Oh, we're going too fast. There we go. Clips the ring behind me. Let's pretend that didn't happen, shall we?
Docking successful.
And there we go.
Engines disengaged.
Now, one of the things you will notice about this is it actually uses a medium pad. which is really nice. It's just the same as the actual Federal dropship. So you should still be, well, you will still be able to land at outposts on this machine. But anyway, there is still one final question that needs answering, and that is, what do I think of this machine? I think it is actually a very, very nice ship. It is a very welcome and refreshing change to have a Federal ship that is actually fairly manoeuvrable. Now, I know I haven't gone into as much depth in this review as some of you may like. I haven't actually upgraded this as yet, but I will be going into that in a separate video. The main issue I find with this ship is the placement of the two medium hardpoints, and the fact that it is a little bit more difficult to actually be able to keep those two guns trained on a target. Now, it might just be that I haven't figured out the knack to it, but that's the only real downside I can find to this ship. But it is not a bad ship at the least. Now, it is not a bad ship by any stretch of the imagination. It's just one little thing that really bugs me. But anyway, if you have enjoyed this video and found it useful, please do hit that like button. It really does help my channel out. And if you haven't already, please do hit that big subscribe button. You'll get notifications from whenever I release new videos. You may also want to check out the list on the right hand side of my affiliated channels, and because they do make quite nice Elite Dangerous content themselves. And anyway, Commanders, until next time, keep flying and stay shiny.